Now, as you've probably already heard, the great Peter Mayhew, who of course played Chewbacca, passed away a few days ago, and yesterday his family released a statement to let the world know. And like pretty much every other Star Wars fan on the planet, it was extremely sad to hear the news, and it hit me harder than maybe I might have expected it would, because I actually passed on the chance to meet him at Star Wars Celebration, or should I say get his autograph. And one of the reasons for that was I'd never been to Celebration before, and since I was only going for one day, I didn't want to beholden myself to anything. I just wanted to take it all in and kind of experience it, and I would have had to reserve getting his autograph weeks in advance before it of course sold out. And another reason is I've never really been much of an autograph seeker. It's just not my thing. Yes, I have a massive collection of Star Wars memorabilia that takes up a large portion of my home, but there's not one autograph amongst my collection. And don't get me wrong, if collecting autographs is your thing, that's awesome and more power to you, but it's just never been mine. Still though, in the months leading up to Celebration, I considered getting Mayhew's autograph, not so much to have the autograph itself, but just for the chance to say thank you to him, even though he's probably been thanked by millions of other fans before me. Because the thing with him is, I've never heard one negative thing about him said ever. I've always heard that he was a true ambassador for the franchise, that he loved the fans and was always kind to anyone and everyone that he encountered. And I spent a good portion of last night reading accounts on social media from people who had met him at one point or another, in one place or another, and probably when he was on his way elsewhere to do something. Yet he took the time out of his day to interact with them, and was nothing but friendly. He was the very epitome of a gentle giant with a big heart. And though it may sound silly to someone on the outside of the fandom looking in to hear me say how important Star Wars is to me, that it always has been and always will be a big part of my life, and that these stories, these characters, and the people who played these characters have shaped me and the person that I am today, it's the plain and simple truth. I mean, I was born in 1977, the year the first Star Wars movie came out, and I had an older brother and sister who were absolutely obsessed with Star Wars, not to mention two parents who enjoyed it quite a bit as well. And so it's always just been there for me. I grew up with it being a natural part of my life, you could even say. It's not an exaggeration when I say that as a kid I watched each of the original trilogy movies somewhere in the ballpark of 100 times each. So many times that parts of the VHS tapes just wouldn't play anymore because they were worn out. And I still watch them at least once a year, usually more, to this very day. And so when I say that it's an honor for me to do what I do here on YouTube, that I get to talk Star Wars with all of you, I sincerely mean that. Again, from the outside looking in, some might look at what I do and laugh or roll their eyes. But for me, this is important work. It's important for me to talk about these stories and to keep them alive in the hearts and minds of people. And on those times when I do criticize Star Wars, which I know some of you out there really don't like, I do it because I want it to be the best it can be. I want it to survive for generations to come. I want it to mean as much, if not more, to the people who are making it than it does to me. And Peter Mayhew was one of those individuals that Star Wars meant so much to, and I think we forget that as fans sometimes. I think we forget how some of these actors, especially those from the original trilogy, had their lives radically altered and changed because of Star Wars, and that some of them, like Mayhew, embraced that and then used it to do tremendous good in this world. And that's the true power of Star Wars. That's the true nature of the force that this franchise generates. That it can bring people together in positive ways, that it can change lives for the better and inspire people to go on and do great things or to help others. That it can create not only larger-than-life fictional heroes on screen, but ones here in the real world that can and do inspire people just like me. And that's what both Chewbacca and Peter Mayhew were. They were larger-than-life heroes, and that's why I'll say now what I regretfully didn't get a chance to say to him a few weeks back. Thank you.